What they're talking about is just a demolition of what makes life worth living. The demolition of our prospects of a sustainable future in the 21st century. The demolition of any controls on the action of billionaires and corporations. We've got to fight that. The Brexit which a lot of people in this country voted for is not the same Brexit that people like Liam Fox are talking about. What we have to understand is that there's a kind of fifth column operating within the Conservative Party that claims to be all for patriotism and the national interest and for British sovereignty, but is actually operating on behalf of business, against the interests of most of the people in this nation, in favour of a transnational group of businesses which aren't loyal at all to Britain. But what they want to do is to tear down regulation. What they want to do is to tear down taxation, to release themselves from the constraints of democracy. And there is a group of people who have long been in contact with these businesses and the billionaires often who own those businesses, sponsored by those very groups within politics who are trying to facilitate that process. And they're operating on both sides of the Atlantic. And one of the organisations which tried quite overtly really to destroy democratic constraints on big business was called Atlantic Bridge. It was founded by the then Defence Minister, Liam Fox. And eventually Fox was sacked from Cameron's cabinet ostensibly for involving his sort of shadowy researcher, stroke friend, stroke best man at his wedding, stroke no one was really quite sure, in government business. But what was really going on was something much bigger than that. This was basically a subversion of the democratic process on behalf of big business. What's really chilling now is that the man who was sacked for that very process has now been reinstated as Trade Secretary basically for that very process. And our task of journalists, I believe, but also the task of political activists, the task of people in momentum, is to expose that agenda. You know, if we accept that Brexit is going to happen, we must make this a Brexit that belongs to the people of this nation and not to that group of people who are basically subverting our national interests, subverting our sovereignty, not from below, but from above.